Okay, what's up, everybody? Um, so, Cash here, bringing you another new tools video, looking at Alolan Marowak. Pretty cool mon. It's got a decent niche in 1v1. Only two really good sets, and honestly, there's not huge differences between them, so we'll just talk about them quickly, and this one should be pretty short. So, base stats, as always, Alolan Marowak is decent. 60 HP is okay, 80 attack is okay, 110 defense is really good, special attack irrelevant, special defense 80, not bad, speed 45, really slow, but overall doesn't really matter for Spawn very much. So although it only has 80 attack, it is extremely strong because of this item, Thick Club. If held by a Marowak, any Marowak, so a Marowak, Alola, or normal, its attack is doubled. So obviously, you know, instead of having whatever this attack is, it has 500. So it hits like an absolute truck. And on top of that, it gets extremely strong stab moves. Since it's fire ghost type, its offensive like prowess is just insane. It's basically just a nuke, right? So the first set we have is one that was given me by Bofer. He has it EV'd to, you know what, let's just, I can just show the Discord. I think that should be okay. System. So, he gave me this set. I know you might not be able to read this. Tank Spec Sylveon, PZ Shadow Ball, Outspeed Sylveon, and Mag at +1. Right? So, that's why you have all the special defense. Those are what it's for. So, our moves are Flame Charge, which, you know, you can just see Bofer talk about. Basically, you Flame Charge into things that are near your speed, like Sylveon, Magnezone, and that makes you faster than them. For the next turn, you can just kill them with whatever you want to go for. You know, you need to be a little careful with Sylveon, probably, because they can be Yawn, but it sounds like you can still beat that anyway. I've also found Flame Charge to be pretty good versus Togekiss, and which sometimes can give you a nice advantage versus them if you can, if they're not Scarf, you can Flame Charge faster than them, and then win from there. Because your ability, Lightning Rod, makes it so you can't get hit by electric moves, right? So that means Thunder Wave from Togekiss cannot hit you. That means Rotom Heat literally cannot touch you. And that means that Magnezone cannot click an electric move versus you. That being said, you need to be a little bit careful about Magnezone, because if you click Flare Blitz, and they are weakness policy, and they use, and obviously that hurts you, right? So you take some recoil, a ton of it, because that puts them down to sturdy, and they use Metal Sound, make you -2, and now they're +2, so it's 4 stage difference, and click Flash Cannon, you can still die. So Flame Charge first is the safe option, or Poltergeist first is also probably fine, but either of them work. Belly Drum is basically just to get past stall things. You just click Belly Drum, you know, drum yourself down. It hurts you half, but, you know, things like Chansey actually can't do anything to you besides use Toxic. Or like Porygon 2, you know, it can't really do anything to you. So you just Belly Drum down yourself to +4, and you just kill them the next turn. You can just fire your attacks off, and literally nothing survives. I don't think there's probably a single Pokemon that can eat anything this thing has a +4. So if any stall matchup, probably an automatic win. Slowbro gets crushed by Poltergeist. Doesn't matter what they have. Right. So this set's pretty straightforward. You got Flare Blitz, you're really strong. Fire Stab, 120 power, but it does hurt you. So be careful about the recoil. Poltergeist, 110 base power, the new ghost move, extremely strong. Fails if they don't have an item, but in 1v1 they pretty much always have an item. There's no way that anyone's running no item. But you should be careful. If you click Flame Charge on something with weakness policy, you cannot click Poltergeist the next turn. Not that that would ever come up, but just so you know. So yeah, Poltergeist just slams things. You know, Belly Drum, obviously, we just talked about. Flame Charge, we just talked about. So this set's pretty straightforward. Not a ton of choices you need to make, which is nice. You basically just say, you know, if you need to hit a tank, you Belly Drum. If you need to hit something else that's specially attacking, you can sometimes get past them with Flame Charge, or you can just hit them with your moves that do just a ton of damage. So the other set, which is probably more common, you're gonna watch me. This says Swords Dance, right? No, it doesn't. It doesn't say Swords Dance anymore. It now says Belly Drum because so this set is the one that's on the analysis, and I'm using those exact EVs just because some people will be seeing those. Smelly Socks is the one who told me to use Belly Drum because Belly Drum basically beats everything that Swords Dance can beat, plus some. So it's pretty much always better to just use Belly Drum to get the boost right away. This spread is a more defensive versus specially defensive. All right, you have almost max HP. You have a lot of defense with an impish nature, which is plus defense. The reason that this is, as you can see, the move we have different on here is counter. So, you know, if you are versus, we saw it in some other videos, if you've watched the Rillaboom video, you know, banded knockoff, you know, you can survive that and click counter and kill them. You can survive, you know, some physical attacks and click counter and kill them. Things that come to mind are like Haxorus. You can survive like Earthquake and kill them. A lot of like neutral hits you'll be able to eat really well because just your defensive bulk you have, plus your natural base 110 defense. So this set functions pretty much the same exact way, except you don't have Flame Charge anymore. So you know, in those cases like Magnezone we talked about earlier, Poltergeist first, then Flame Blitz or Flare Blitz. Be careful about the Flare Blitz hurting you. And I mean, this set's really, they're all so straightforward to use, right? That's what's really nice about Marowak. There's no like complicated series of plays you need to make. Your only options are literally just, do I need to click Belly Drum or do I need to hit them? Counter only comes up in like a few matchups. If you think that they're choiced in some way, counter can be really good, but watch out for, you know, Trick. Because that is a way you could lose. Say you're fighting Darmanitan, right, and you're like, oh, I'll survive any attack they go for, I'll just click counter, but they have Trick and you lose when you could have just clicked Poltergeist and probably killed them. So just be cautious about clicking counter too freely, but besides that, very easy to use. I don't have replays for this because I was like setting up to do this, recording these replays so long ago now at this point that I can't remember what account I put them on, because I normally make separate accounts for the replays so that I can keep track of which mons they go to, but I don't know where my Alolan Marowak ones are. So you know, we're having no replays for this video. Sorry, not that most people care about watching those anyway, but the new players might enjoy them. So yeah, so let's talk about some partners, right? We're a fire type. You know what I always say, I think Fire, Water, Grass are really strong. You're going to want probably water types. You might want grass types on your team to beat mons that you normally would have no chance versus. All right, you can't beat Primarina, you can't beat Azumarill, you know, you can't beat Urshifu. So you need things that beat all of those. So, you know, you could use a Rillaboom, you could use a Zeraora, both good partners. You know, you can also use some water types. Can actually be pretty strong. So like, you know, the normal water types that are really good, Primarina or Shifu, you know, you have Azumarill, anything that you really want to make Fire, Water, Grass with can be really strong. On top of that, you know, fairies are extra good because, you know, you're obviously pretty weak to dark, so Primarina can be really strong. Sylveon can be a good partner. Also, you're a little bit weak to like really fast ghost types like Gengar and stuff. So, you know, if you're running Primarina Gengar or Primarina Marowak, you're really weak to Gengar, right? So you might want something that's good versus that type of thing. Good versus Gengar, which, you know, can be anything faster than that. So Zeraora makes a good partner. You know, you're also kind of weak to, you can be weak to Dragapult. So you might want, Primarina is pretty good versus Dragapult. So yeah, those are just pretty simple teammates to run, because obviously Marowak weakness is it's just not that fast, and especially if you're not running a flame charge, things are just, if you can't kill them in one shot, you're most likely not living 2 hits. So anything that's faster than you that can like really hit you hard, or anything like that, like Dragapult with like sub disable Shadow Ball is really difficult, because you want a Poltergeist, and then if it's awkward, because then you have to decide whether you want to Flare Blitz or get disabled. And Flare Blitz doesn't do that much to them, it hurts you, puts you in Shadow Ball range, and you die. So you're also pretty weak to obviously ground and rock moves as a fire type, so you have to be a little bit careful about Crustle, Rhyperior, anything with a really strong rock move, really strong ground move. We don't really have too many good ground, so ground's not like super good, but that's why Primarina can make such a good teammate. So yeah, and you're a pretty good teammate for water too, because you obviously absorb electric attacks. So things like Zeraora have to click knockoff versus you can click counter. Be a little bit careful about sub, but you could probably just kill Zeraora. Actually, I haven't run the Kaus, but yeah. So that's what I would suggest. Fire, Water, Grass core, really strong. Marowak's pretty straightforward mon. If you see it on ladder, it's Thick Club. It's running 4 out of these 5 moves almost 90% of the time. And now you know how to play against it, pick against it, and what you can use with it to have the most success. So hope you guys found that helpful. Thank you for watching. As always, leave a sub and a like if you haven't already, and I will see you guys again soon.